There we go.
Looks good.
Somebody has a puppy there. If you want to mute your microphone, that would be fine too. So I will begin our meeting as usual with our purpose statement. If you have your agendas, you can follow along. Otherwise, just listen along as I read our purpose statement. As a community of women created in the image of God, called to discipleship in Jesus Christ and empowered by the Holy Spirit, we commit ourselves to grow in faith, affirm our gifts, support one another in our callings, engage in ministry and action, and promote healing and wholeness in the church, society, and the world. All right. And a tall order in these uncertain times, I would say. But we are pleased to have Linda Trotter with us to do devotions and prayer. So go ahead, Linda.
Okay, I've chosen something from a book called The Power of Thanksgiving, and it had some good thoughts, I think. From 1 Timothy 4, verse 4, everything God created is good, and nothing is to be rejected if it is received with thanksgiving. Has God given you good things? In our culture, that often implies a huge house, a fancy car, and steak for dinner. But haven't you had a house you loved, even though it wasn't the finest part of town? An older car you didn't want to get rid of, or a macaroni and cheese dinner that fed your stomach and your taste buds as well as any steak? Good things don't have to cost a lot of money. Your best relationships are priceless. Would you trade a much-loved parent for money or a spouse for gold? These, too, are gifts from the Heavenly Father, who knows how to give the best, no matter the cost. And what of the other things God creates that have no price? A sunset filled with vibrant colors, which we certainly have had recently, a drink of water that quenches thirst as no man-made beverage can. God has given generously in many more ways than we can often consider. But no matter what God gives us, we are to receive it with thanks. He made it just for us, and we're enjoying the benefit. So why not share that joy with Jesus? He's the best gift God had to offer, and the only gift we truly need. For the prayer tonight, I decided to use, it's a poem by Helen Steiner Rice, and I just think it would have been some of the same things I would have said in a prayer. Thank you, God, for everything, the big things and the small, for every good gift comes from God, the giver of them all. And so at this time, we offer up a prayer to thank you, God, for giving us a lot more than our share. First, thank you for the little things that often come our way, the things we take for granted and don't mention when we pray, the unexpected courtesy, the thoughtful, kindly deed, a hand reached out to help us at the time of sudden need. Then thank you for the miracles we are much too blind to see, and give us new awareness of our many gifts from thee, and help us to remember that the key to life and living is to make each prayer a prayer of thanks and each day a day of thanksgiving. I just thought that was very appropriate for the time we're in. And I would be remiss if I didn't add a little humor. I'm sorry. I think we all need that these days, and in this kind of stress and sitting alone a lot of times. I'm actually thanking you for having me do devotions, because it forced me to go to my bookcase again, and which I haven't been doing lately. And I started last night. I got a late night because I started to read some of the books I haven't read for a long time. And was good. It was good. I felt much better afterwards. So I'm hoping, I just want to share a couple of thoughts. I like Barbara Johnson. She always has good things. I also had a book called And God Said, Let There Be Laughter, which had many good thoughts in it. But this was kind of interesting since we just going through election. It said when Barbara Bush replaced Nancy Reagan as First Lady, a New York Post headline proclaimed, "Goodbye, first fashion plate. Hello, first grandmother." Barbara Bush's reaction was, my mail tells me a lot of fat, white-haired, wrinkled ladies are tickled pink. How true. I could almost hear Barbara Bush saying that. Let's see. There's another one, and this is probably from Barbara Johnson. There's a lot to be thankful for if you take the time to look at it. For example, I'm sitting here thinking how nice it is that wrinkles don't hurt. And since Thanksgiving is coming up, I love to read things kids say. They're just so truthful, I guess you could say. As our family was enjoying a delicious Thanksgiving dinner, my 4-year-old granddaughter stopped chomping on her drumstick long enough to look at her mother, smile, and say, I really like turkey on the cob. Another one, and this book is called Humor for the Holidays, and there's lots of good things in it. In an attempt to develop better eating habits, our family began eating turkey franks, turkey ham, turkey bacon, and turkey burgers. When Thanksgiving came, I made a beautiful traditional dinner with all the trimmings. But only after my husband started to carve the bird did I realize how health conscious we had become when 10-year-old Katie asked, Mom, is this real turkey or turkey? I still believe that the power of humor can get us through lots of things. And like I said, this was a good reminder for me to pick those books up again and make sure I do it on a regular basis. And there's lots of things out there. If you find anything by Barbara Johnson, also Patsy Claremont is another Christian writer. They could go out. I've got several other books, but hopefully we can all keep our humor during these times as we went through the election and almost over. And also just, we know that we have a tendency to get stressed as holidays approach. So, and this year will probably be different for most of us. So don't forget to have humor in your life. If you can't find it any other place, talk to some kids. They often can brighten your day. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Linda. That was enjoyable for sure. It feels good to laugh these days.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, all right. And we tonight have the final installment of our lessons for today's disciples. And the last one is entitled Giving Freely. And Jackie Goplin has agreed to share some thoughts on giving freely, since she really sees a lot of this in our church these days. So I'll turn it over to you, Jackie.
Well, thank you, Kathy. A tall order for me. This is not my most comfortable place to be, but this topic, we are all givers. We all give freely. So this crowd, I think what we can take away are some thoughts that were in the lesson, and that's what I'd like to share with you tonight. It's based on a Bible verse from the Corinthians, and we'll get to that in a minute. But the main whole idea of giving, and these make sense to me, and hope they will make sense to you too. First of all, it is a heart exercise, and it is one of God's unexplainable mysteries. It is not exclusive to our pocketbook, and it begins with the heart. We all know and must know in our hearts that everything belongs to God. And it's not an intellectual thing, because sometimes intellectually it might not make sense how much we give or what we do in our own realm of giving. Giving is the mechanism for distributing the resources needed to care for God's creations. It is definitely a verb, and it requires action. It requires action in the form of giving time, giving gifts, and carrying out actions and dollars. And it is a combination of all of those things. I don't know if I agree with this, but the reading was talking about society and how they associate giving with loss and scarcity and deficiency. Um, so that kind of gives giving sometimes, which is it's a form of discipleship, harder to grasp because of the culture and the practices around giving and receiving. So I'm not sure that I've ever thought of it that way, but maybe there's a part of society that does. And those people that find it harder to give, maybe that scares them away. The true mystery is that when we give generously and freely, we find that the more we give, the more there is to give. Our hearts understand this, but not necessarily our mind, because I'm one of those that have a hard time saying no. And sometimes I don't realize right away that you should have said no to the last three things that came up. So if you were to think about that, it would make sense, but we don't think of it intellectually. We think of it, giving from the heart. So that's how we stack up our desks and our plates with sometimes more than we can chew. Our attitude about giving and its importance to God's plan are more important than the amounts that we give. So I take that as to be how you give cheerfully and willingly, to make your efforts with a good attitude is very important. So Corinthians chapter 9 verses 1 through 15. I'm just going to summarize it. While on a mission trip to raise money for the impoverished churches in Jerusalem, Paul witnessed an overwhelming act of great sacrifice. The churches in Macedonia were very poor themselves, but collected an offering and presented it to Paul because they wanted to help with their hearts. Paul had not expected it because he knew their situation, and he had made judgments about this poor church and their ability and desire to give. So Paul learned an important lesson, and I think it's something we all need to remember. But the lesson is we all have something to give, no matter how big or how small. And sometimes gifts that are given by people who are, it's maybe beyond their means are really, treasured more than somebody who has more. So they wanted us in the lesson to reflect on our own giving. And so these words are familiar and they're part of the liturgy. And I think that they ring true. And maybe that's why we all give and have learned and heard this so many times. But the words are, we offer with joy and thanksgiving what you have first given us, ourselves, our time, and our possessions, signs of your gracious love. Receive them for the sake of him who offered himself for us. And that, of course, is Jesus Christ our Lord. We offer with joy and thanksgiving. Those words are very powerful. What you have first given us. And I guess when I'm asked to do things, one of the things that go through my mind is I really don't have an excuse to say no, because I'm capable of doing that. I should do it. I should contribute. And so therefore that those words are very important. And I think that's part of my growing up or my background. And either that, or it was the Catholic in me that, going to church every Sunday and that guilt thing, it's a powerful tool. So one of those, I'm not sure, but just, we say those words all the time, and we certainly call a call to action. So do you generally think of what you might give as what God has first given you? Yourself, your time, your possessions? Is that something you think about, or what do you think about when you are giving so freely of your talents and your gifts? So there are benefits, and in the last part of the Bible verse for today, the benefits of giving are clearly laid out, and we hear them, these phrases that I'm going to read to you, over and over, in different, presented differently, and but the same idea. He who sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, while he who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. So if you give a lot, you're going to get a lot back. If you give a little, you might get a little back. Each one must do as he has made up his mind, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. God is able to provide you with every blessing in abundance, so that you may always have enough of everything and may provide in abundance for every good work. So he provides us the method and the means to be giving all of these things. He scatters abroad, he gives to the poor. His righteousness endures forever. Another thought, he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will supply and multiply your resources and increase the harvest of your righteousness. So it is contagious, giving. We're setting good examples by giving, no matter how small you think it might be. You will be enriched in every way for great generosity, which through us will produce thanksgiving to God. And again, always, returning to God what he has given us. Under the test of the service, you glorify God by your obedience in acknowledging the gospel of Christ and by the generosity of your contribution for them and for all others. While they long for you and pray for you because of the surpassing grace of God in you, thanks be to God for his inexpressible gift. So giving is a very important activity that we engage in, and I am not sure how that becomes part of us. And my thought was, how are the younger generation, because I know church had a lot to do with me and how I give, but some of the younger people are not, children as a matter of fact, who aren't in church a lot, or it becomes very important that they participate in confirmation. We have a wonderful giving and sacrificing theme through confirmation, and what they do for the community and they do for the church. They are always involved in activities of giving. So I think that's really important for our youth, and I think our church as a whole offers a whole variety of activities for everyone to participate in, whether it be going to Feed My People or going down to the inner city Minneapolis, or just working in all our health kits and school kits. And WELCA is certainly a giving. All of you here are tremendous givers. And so that is something that is concerning to me, how we move it forward with all of our society, and how are they going to learn it all. As a personal reflection for you, think about, when do I give? When there is a need and I know I'm capable and available to help. Only when it's convenient. There's a lot of factors that play in there. What do I give? Do I give just dollars? Do I give a little bit of everything? What qualifies for me to give? And why? Why do I give? It's a good feeling, I guess, for me when I give. It often suppresses feelings of helplessness if you can't change anything, or you're feeling like you wish you could do something to help, and just doing anything makes you feel better, even though, even like I say, even how small it might be. That was certainly the case with our Kurds for Kids. We felt so helpless, and jumping into that, it was just a no-brainer, because we could certainly do what we could. And we had no idea it would turn out like that, but we jumped in, and it felt good. It was an exercise that really made us feel like we were contributing something and trying to help people. So I know that we all give differently, and we all give in important ways. It's all a matter of, our individual ideas and tolerances and our individual makeup. But we are all givers. So they talked about working to improve your giving, and just evaluating if you take opportunities to give, if listening is a gift of giving, having confidence when you give, being cheerful, and being consistent, and the complete giving of time, money, and gifts, all three of those. An important statement in this chapter was that remember that everything belongs to God. Giving helps us participate in God's mission as full partners, making things happen. So it's kind of like a full circle. What God has given us, we're giving back. And it keeps the cycle going. That said, we have to understand that our examples of giving is so important for others to see, so they absorb what it looks like. And I think that we at our, certainly the members here tonight, and many more of our members that aren't here, do a great job of that. And I think our community of congregation, our members are a very giving group of people, whether in person, financially, all of that, all of those ways of giving. But we're always looking for more. And hopefully that will continue even through COVID, trying to navigate through how to give even in this time of pandemic. So those are my thoughts. Does anyone have anything else to share about giving?
I would say pay it forward.
Pay it forward. That's a very short and sweet. Definitely a good, yeah, very good.
I liked how they titled it Giving Freely.
Mm-hmm.
There's such a difference between doing it out of duty or responsibility, but giving freely is where discipleship really glows, I think. It shows greatly in that free giving, no strings attached type of thing. And they, like you said, from the heart is where that comes from. So
right.
So Jackie, obviously we have a very gracious and giving congregation. So are you seeing a big difference now with COVID with our giving? You're the one to ask. You're the money.
It's definitely less. It's not, the year isn't over, and there's a flurry of activity at the end, which I would be expecting again. But we are missing that population that give only when they're in church. And we have gained several people online, but it was mainly a switch from, their envelope to just doing it online. But we will see where it lands. Of course, it's hard to compare to last year. We have to take out the capital improvement because we did finish the parking lot. So that was a big amount that, we're not going to have as much because of that. But yes, and after tallying up today what I got in my mailbox, the WELCA, there's $2,000 more that you can add on to your fundraiser.
Yes.
fantastic.
So, yeah. Yes, and I know the people have been giving online for that. So in addition to their the mail that's coming in, definitely. There was a lot of mail this week.
Wonderful. Anyone
So,
else?
yeah.
If there are no other comments, then I thank you greatly, Jackie, for taking the time to do this and sharing your thoughts and finishing up our series for us. This will be the last one. And you have your assistant there
Yes. Sorry.
by. But thank you for sharing your thoughts with us tonight. We appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. If you have your handouts or if you've got the ambassador handy, we will begin our business meeting here. We'll take a look at the secretary's report for October. Are there any additions or changes to what Margot submitted for October? If there aren't any changes or comments, then we will entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, Virginia.
I'll second it,
And
Linda.
that was Linda Trotter will second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Secretary's report is approved. The treasurer's report. Did you all get that in the email? Did you get a chance to take a look at that? Okay. There were some expenses and then she had a little bit at the bottom, but now Jackie said we can add $2,000 more to that 4,070. So that's exciting.
Mhm.
That's wonderful.
But as far as the treasurer's report for October, any questions or changes? If there aren't any, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I so approve.
Julie?
Yeah.
Julie Warner. And a second? Don't all jump at once.
I'll second it. I second it.
That's Jackie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And all opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. I know there's just a little bit of a lag time, so you never know if you should say anything or not. But you guys did great. We're doing okay. So let's continue with our old business, Lutheran World Relief Kits. I left that on there. Linda, if you had anything more you wanted to add, otherwise we're pretty much finished with that for the year. Am I correct?
Well, we're finished for this year, but we're working already for next year.
Okay.
I did purchase flannel, and I was able to get a bolt of white flannel, a full bolt, and I also then purchased prints of flannel that could be used for blankets, sleepers, that kind of thing. Each of the print pieces are 5 yards. And what I have done is they're in a tote in the quilting room at the church. And anyone who'd like to pick a piece up, or I would be happy to deliver it too, can do so. And please leave your name so we know where it's gone. I also put in there a diaper pattern, or how to make diapers. And also they did have a suggestion of how to make sleepers out of t-shirts, which was new, but I'm thinking maybe you sewers would know you could probably use that same pattern on flannel, I'm thinking. But I am also looking for a simple sleeper type pattern for because they would like different sizes and things like that. So yeah, I did spend money, but I feel I got a very good sale. I said I've spent so much time at Joanne Fabric lately, I might even start to sew. They were all on sale for like $2.99 a yard, which is pretty good because it's usually $7.99 a yard. And so it came to about $239, something like that, for both the white flannel and the prints. Also, the white flannel in the bolt, I may try to get up there and cut it into pieces, or if there's anyone who would like to just go to the church and take the bolt, the bolt and start cutting it into the size pieces that we need for diapers. I think that would be easier because I do have several people who are willing to sew them if they get it once they're cut up and that kind of thing. So that's there, and I said I would try to get up there and do that too. Otherwise, it's going well. We'll at least start with this. And as we get further through the year, we'll start thinking about the health kits and school supplies and things like that. Just a comment though, I don't know that I put it in the report for the ambassador, but we did almost as well as we did in 2019 as far as numbers of kits and things. So I think that despite all the stuff that was going on this year, that was pretty good. The only thing we were left was school kits. We did 80 last year and we did 52 this year. But otherwise we pretty much matched. We did more personal kits this year, personal care. We actually had 66 this year with only 44 last year. So, and I read in the Lucan Road Relief News things that is a great need now with all the disasters that have been going on all over. So if you have a particular interest in helping, I'm always looking for people who like to shop. I said, now, whenever you go anywhere, you know what we need. If you see a good deal, pick it up now, because when we get closer to school time and things, it will be harder to get good prices on things. So any questions or suggestions?
Well, it sounds like you have everything under control, and if you need more assistance, you put out the word there, and you certainly can always rely on any one of us. Just let us know. So
I almost forgot. Darlene Meyer also indicated that she would be willing to make diapers and sleepers out of the t-shirts if anybody has used fairly nicely still used t-shirts. Maybe they could drop them off at the church, or we'll put a tote out on Thursdays or something.
right.
She can use for that.
Yeah, I did speak with Darlene earlier. I was hoping she'd get on the call with us or the Zoom meeting with us, but I see that didn't happen. But I will get back with her. But she did mention that the t-shirts don't have to be white. They can be any color, and you can work with any color. And so she just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that too.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Anything else?
Nope. I think that's all on that. Kits.
Okay.
Thank you, Linda, for all your
Yeah.
work.
Thank you for all of that, for sure. All right, we'll continue on with our updating you on our No Work fundraiser. I'll just go down what I had here on the agenda. We can donate online, as Jackie mentioned earlier, and thank you so much for setting that up, Jackie. That's worked really well. I've been on with a couple of different people and myself, and that's really great. I like having the credit card ability too. I hope that's going to work out well for everything that we do, but I know that was extra work for you, and I really appreciate that.
No worries.
You can do a credit card on Realm.
Yes.
Now you can.
Mm-hmm.
It costs more. But yes.
But you also have the option of putting a little bit extra toward that. If you've noticed, if you've donated online for WELCA, if you donate $50, underneath that, it'll ask you if you want to donate an extra $1 to cover the cost of processing.
It
And
depends.
a lot of people do choose to do that.
It depends on the amount you're donating,
Yeah.
what the amount you'd be, to
Right.
offset. It might not be $1.
It might be, for $100, I think it's probably $2, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It goes up that way, but at least we ask them, the program asks them right away if they'd be willing to help offset some of the cost of processing those donations.
It's like 38 cents per transaction plus 2.63% of the total.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
So you don't have to pay a processing fee though, if it's coming out of your checkbook, correct?
No, it's much less. It's, you still do pay a little bit of a fee, but it's much less. I believe it's 0.08% of the total.
Okay.
So yes, we still have to pay a fee, but it's just not near the amount, the percentage.
And
that
you still
credit-
have that option, even if it's the WELCA donation process. It shows right on there. You can either enter a credit card or you can enter your routing number and account number for directly out of your checking account. So we have all the options we could need to donate online through Realm at this point. And that's also for the regular donations, like for the general fund and those types of things. The council did go with adding credit card donations to that, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it'll make a difference. I know it's not as convenient as if you do a lot of online shopping. If you wanted to do PayPal, which you don't have to remember any of your numbers, you don't have to have your card on you because it's just all entered in there. We don't have PayPal, but
We don't, but you can make it a recurring donation, I believe.
right,
With
yes,
a credit card, so then it's
Yep.
automatically done and you don't have to even think about it. So there are
Right.
lots of different options that way. And that took a little doing to get set up. Again, we appreciate that. So
Mhm.
any other questions about the Realm part of online giving? Okay, well, I will catch you up on Facebook. It has been a nightmare and impossible, practically impossible. They communicate with me once a week if I'm lucky. We have, the biggest problem has been our address. It doesn't fit their model because we have a PO box for delivery and we have a physical address that's totally different. They don't allow PO boxes. So we have had, poor Jackie's had her address been given to them. I had to give our officers information and date of birth. It's just been a nightmare. So, but it's still happening. For a while there, I thought it was just not going to happen because they just wouldn't accept the PO box. But they're still asking for information. So I'm still hopeful that we can put a donate button on our Facebook page and thereby receive donations from Facebook. And there are no fees when you get donations through Facebook, and it goes directly into what we're putting it in is the savings account for the general fund. So, and that's
This is Facebook and not our webpage?
correct.
Hmm.
This is through Facebook. Yep. And that was the other option. Then we could run donation, fundraisers. Like the youth could have a fundraiser through Facebook is what we're trying to accomplish. So anyway, I haven't heard from them now since I sent them more information. Usually it's Monday mornings I have a message from them. So
I would think by doing it on Facebook, you might get some people that usually come to the dinner that don't belong to our church, but still, they read about it.
exactly. And that's what we're hoping. That's why we did put an announcement. I think we have. Yeah. We did put an announcement on Facebook. If we haven't, we need to. Yeah, I did, but we need to do it again. I need to bring that forward and pin it to the top of our newsfeed again. So I did do that because I did want to try and reach our friends that are on Facebook, but don't necessarily get our ambassador or anything like that. So don't go through Realm.
Kathy, for kids, we had our webpage that my people created, which was our donation page. But we also had a Facebook page, and there was a button on there that would take us to that donation page.
That's what I'm trying to get for us is that donate button.
But could that be to our, take them to our church website?
I did put a link to Realm on our Facebook announcement that I put on.
Okay.
So if they click on that link that I put on our Facebook announcement saying
Yeah.
we're, doing this fundraiser, that goes right to Realm,
Sure. Okay.
which is fine. I mean, we wouldn't have to do the Facebook fundraiser thing. But anyway, we're in the process, and it's just, if it gets done, I'll be excited about that. So we'll see if it ever gets completed. But and Roseanne has been a huge help with that. She's been scanning in documents and sending me PDFs and all of that. So just so you're aware, we're working on that with Facebook. But right now, we can donate with Realm online. So that's a good thing. And one other thing about the fundraiser is, how do we want to say thank you to people, or what's next? And when I made the announcement at church today, I was thinking, well, are we going to have an ending of our fundraiser? How do we want that to look? And are we going to do thank yous of any kind? I'd like to pick your brains about that.
Can't you just put it in the ambassador?
That would be perfect. Anything else? We could do it on Facebook too.
Yeah, could do it in both.
Okay.
When you put a thank you in there, you may actually get more donations, because people say, oh, I was going to do that. And then that's a
Yep,
reminder
right.
for them to do it.
I don't think you need to put an end on it. You'll always
Yeah.
take money.
Well,
Right.
certainly, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
Right.
Usually distribute the 1st of December though, right? Or a meeting in the 1st of December?
Right. Or somewhere early in December, we do meet and
Yeah.
decide where it goes. And I don't think we're going to have any trouble meeting our obligations or desired obligations. Like I said, it's not that we have to donate to all those things, but we like to keep up the tradition that
Yeah.
people before us have started. And if there are there any new donations that we should be thinking about for our distribution? That's coming up. I guess we could talk about that in December at our December meeting, couldn't we?
Sure. It's
Be
good to think
thinking about that, and I'll put that on the agenda for December then. Okay.
Maybe a way of letting everybody know what we've given to in previously. So if
I can attach the disbursement list.
Yeah.
To our December invitation.
Agenda. Okay.
Or I can send it out now.
Or whatever. But I just said otherwise people don't know what we've given to previously, and if we need to add or detract.
Well, and if anybody has your annual report,
Yeah, that would
that
help.
list is in there also.
That's right.
Mhm. So there's a number of ways that we can get it, but I certainly could send out the disbursement list, and then you could be thinking about, do we want to add, subtract? It should be modified each year based on the environment and what our needs are and what the needs of the community are, I would think. So
I would think you could just wait and send it out
should I?
with the,
With the invitation, like early in the week before the meeting? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that. And if you want to know sooner, you can find it in the annual report. And I believe that's on the website too, and under the newsletters and things like that. I can check on that, but you can always contact me if you had, and I can send it out to you too. So we will review the disbursement list at the December meeting. So be thinking about that. So the thank yous, we'll make sure we have one in the ambassador for sure coming up. I was wondering, Jackie, they generally list donations like in levels. Do we want to enumerate people's names, or do we want just a general thank you?
That's up to you. I have the data that goes through me, and I don't know if Sandy, if you're listening, if you have taken in any money that and deposited that, it hasn't gone through me.
Yeah.
then I wouldn't know those, but I have a list of everybody and what they've donated.
I don't think we should put out.
My personal feeling is not to, but I wanted to ask, yeah.
The only ones we itemized before were major donations from businesses or people that,
Right.
Bought a part of the meal or something, but
Oh, okay.
that was,
Just didn't happen this time, so.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I personally, I think for what we're doing for this, just a general thank you to all that have donated would be.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
I think. so.
Margot, would you mind putting something together for a thank you? You're such a good writer. I would love to have something to work with, and I can work with you on that too.
Sure, when you want it for the December one or January?
Let's do December, the December ambassador.
She wants that like by the middle of November.
Pretty soon.
Yeah, pretty soon. And I don't think that would be bad to put it in there. Like Virginia said, people will realize, oh, I got to get my money in,
Okay.
So if you don't mind, if you can, if not, we can always do it in January, but I think December
I
would.
have enough time. I'm home quite a bit.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I know what you mean.
I'll
So,
just send it, get it done.
okay, and I think I will try and bring that announcement forward again every week or two on our Facebook feed too, so that it gets out there. Well, and I realized I posted it and then I changed the pictures. Well, and that buries our announcement, so that wasn't too smart of me, but
It was
I'll
it
fix
was
it.
much better today, your announcement in church. Last Sunday, we couldn't hear you.
I know I was up in the balcony with no way of getting down to a microphone, so I thought, well, I better go down there today. So
Yeah, so it was much
I
better.
did. Yeah, I apologize for that, but we just
Good job.
we have a microphone going up there now. So, anything else about the fundraiser? Comments, concerns? We're doing okay.
I'd say it's going very well.
Mhm.
It sure seems that way, doesn't it? You can do that at least once for a little bit, and if we end up doing it next year again, people will understand.
Who knows?
Who knows? You don't know. So,
No, we won't have to do it.
anything else on that? Okay. So let's move on to any other old business I should ask. Is there anything else from the past that we want to bring forward? Anybody? Okay, good. Well, then I'm going to welcome Terry. Been running around. Are you still in Stevens Point, Terry?
No, I made it home.
You made it home.
My family's just getting
Okay.
hungry, so they're now cooking dinner.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Terry agreed to join us tonight to talk a little bit about the congregational assessment tool, the CAT survey, and
And
what the council is trying to accomplish. So go ahead, Terry.
yes, so I don't know if any of you have taken the CAT survey yet.
I have.
I have.
Okay, it takes about 20 minutes. Those of you that did it, 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, at least 30 for me.
Did it? Okay. Yeah. They're long questions. I guess probably I had reviewed some of them beforehand, so they seem familiar to us. But we put this together and just based it on, I lost my notes, based it on just finding out how our things are going in our church and ways to set our goals and things that we have been planning towards the future. And some of the things we had set into action, but obviously have slowed down with us all being home. So the survey's out. We're hoping to get a lot of people to take it. I received an update, I think, or we received an email on, I don't know, it was last week, one day. I think 33 people had completed it in our church so far. So all of council has taken it. Hopefully their families. Anyone 16 and older should take this. In your household, only one person should report. There's a section that will say only one. Are you the one person in your home that's going to answer these questions? Okay, and that just gives us demographics and stuff. I think we have like 2 more weeks to complete this. So it's a quick timeline. So the more people we can talk to. I know not everybody has access to internet or the computer or are comfortable going on the computer to do this. So I would be happy to meet with people one-on-one. So if we can get that word out, I can meet them in the church basement. I can meet them at my shop when it's not open, to come in and do it privately. If somebody really, really, really wants paper and pencil, we can make that happen, but one of us have to enter it. So I feel like I'd rather have somebody come in and help them on an iPad, because we want the information in that way. Okay, does that make sense? So it's really just a tool to give us a lot of information. The questions are friendly, they're not scary. And then we can take those to start building out and building communication and working and keeping things going. So I think that kind of completes it all in. The link is on our page for people to take as well. Correct?
Correct. Yep, it's on the right on the home page. When you scroll just a little bit, there's a big long button that shows take the survey, and
Right.
Takes you right to it's called Holy Cow Consulting, if you haven't been on it yet. And all of a sudden you're going to click on that, you're going to see this big thing that says Holy Cow.
Holy cow.
Just so you know.
So numerous churches have done this, and now I might be wrong if that's who you went through in the past when you did it. I can't remember now, but I know like a survey was done like 10 years ago, maybe.
Oh, that was a written one, I'm sure. I don't think we did anything online.
Well, I suppose they're probably, sorry, there probably wasn't that, but there was a survey done. I think, I want to say it was like 10 years ago, people had talked about. And so, and things have been able to grow. So this is how we can reach out to everybody. We chose this time of the year because people are more home, and we're hoping to get them to take the time to fill it out. We really are aiming to get like 160 people to fill this. So we have a little ways to go
Yeah,
as we go through.
yeah.
So
And
again,
then-
please tell people I'm welcome to help them. I want them to feel safe and comfortable. We can set them up and help them in the church basement or anywhere we have internet.
Now this is geared toward our members. Is that correct, Terry?
Yes, so our members should be taking this.
Right.
Well,
You're
I think people who are attending our church regularly too. I don't
right. And now that we have live streaming and so many more people around, are we we're not really necessarily encouraging someone from outside of our congregation, but it's okay for them to take it.
I would think so. I mean, we can't stop it. We wouldn't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's all anonymous.
Right. So my hope
So-
is that the people who are active in our church are
Yeah.
doing it.
Well, and I just put a Facebook post out tonight about it because I had promised I would do
saw
that,
that.
and I forgot about till just now. So then I did title it Peace Lutheran Members,
Yes.
but if anybody's interested, they certainly can go online and take a look at it. So
So from what I understand, some of you are maybe involved in the phone calling and checking in on people and how you doing, those type of things. So if you could bring it up to them. I mean, if somebody has internet, I guess I'm not scared if I need to come there. I mean, I will mask up and whatever and help if they have internet to do that. But I think coming down to the church where we know we have the big space that's set and using the internet there, we can have tools for people to take the assessment there.
well, that sounds good. And I'm encouraged that you've already got 33 people that have taken it. I hope we can get
Yes.
many more. Yeah.
And it sounds like a great tool. I mean, I think his name is Kurt Jacobson we were working with, and he works as a consultant with Holy Cow, and very neat man, very informational. People have gotten really great information back and feedback to be able to pull out different ideas. So,
Yeah. And the more people that take it, the better
yes.
we can do to set goals and all of that. So
And that's why we set a goal of, I think, 150 to 160, because it would give us a good group. So anyone 16 and older in your household can do it.
okay. Any other questions for Terry?
You're talking both husband and wife, if there's two people living in the house, or everybody that's members 16 and older in a household?
Yes, yes. So like in my home, Drake was a little bummed. He goes, "Come on, I'm 14." I'm like, "Yeah, we're not taking your thoughts." So 16 and older. So like both Bill and I took it, and only Bill answered the one section
Right.
for our family, because we don't want to skew it with both of us answering.
But that was very obvious. I could see where, it tells you right up front. If someone in your house already answered this part, don't,
do it.
select that someone else did it, but
Yes.
so
So be
it's
sure
pretty
to
clear.
communicate in your home.
It's pretty clear. All right. Well, thanks, Terry. I know it was an effort to get back here. I appreciate you
It's
joining
just
us.
the nice weather.
Yeah, that's right. So, okay, the next thing on our new business list is our nominating committee is going to have to be activated here. We need new officers by the end of the year. And the new officers that must be found are secretary and treasurer, because Sandy and Margot have both served 2 years now. And we need at least one co-coordinator. Dawn has decided that she's ready to just be done, which is fine. Many things going on in her life, and I don't need to speak for you, Dawn. You're right there, so you can share with us what your decision is. So we're looking for in the interest of continuity, I will do it next year as a co-coordinator. So we're going to need a co-coordinator, a secretary, and a treasurer. So be thinking about who the nominating committee can approach for those. And our nominating committee is Virginia and Sigrid. So they will be looking. We would love to have volunteers. If there's anyone out there.
We're waiting on that.
Yes. Yes.
So here's the deal. When you see our name pop up on your ID, you answer.
Yeah. Please do.
Yeah, we're going by a lottery. If your name gets drawn, you're it.
So if you could, think about, help them out. It's really difficult to be on a nominating committee and to be asking people and all of that. And again, it's perfect to have our lesson for today being giving freely. Giving freely of our time and talents is what they're going to be looking for in the next few weeks, because we do need to have that finalized. Did we do it in December last year, Virginia and Sigrid? I think.
Yes.
Kind of talked about.
We had it known.
November, right? Because we need to announce it in December for the.
That's what I was thinking. So in the next couple of weeks, and then in December, the new officers will gather with the old officers and figure out what we can do here. So that's the timeline, and believe it or not, the year has flown by in some ways and yet crawled by in others. So so they will be contacting people to give freely of their time. Any questions on that? Or
Carol, do you just want to be secretary? It'd be easy for me to give you the stuff. Just checking.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
She's holding out to be co-leader is what she's doing.
Yeah.
No,
yeah. Okay. I put on here the chicken and biscuit fundraiser. I think it's time to start deciding. I guess we would need to decide this month. I don't know if there's any real decision to be made, but I just wanted to bring it up, everybody.
Last year, we moved it back to December, right?
Yes.
But previously, we tried it in, I'd say whatever month we get back together, let's do it.
Hey, there you go. That's
Keep
an
it
idea.
floating.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a Christmas thing, does it?
No,
No, that's true.
I don't think we'll be gathering by Christmas. Maybe we will. I don't know.
I don't think so
I
either.
don't think so.
Not the way the numbers look these days. So,
And I'm serving food to people.
yeah. So I guess we can, do we all agree that we're going to forego? I like Sigrid's suggestion. I'll write that down. A month or two after we start seeing things happen, we'll just have one and go from there. So, all right. Any other thoughts on that? Anyone? Okay. Any other new business that we need to discuss?
You know, every year we usually do something with the nursing home.
Oh, yeah.
And of course we can't go there this year. I don't know if we'd want to purchase a little gift for each of them, or if we had some creative people, could we do a video that they could show?
Well, that's an idea. Actually, for December, now we're finished our Bible study on discipleship, and I'm pleased and excited. Dawn's going to put together some fun things for us to do in December. And that could be part of that too, right, Dawn? Where we could do something to take over there?
Yeah, well, Terry and I have talked, and she's going to be putting together a little craft idea. And I think we haven't gotten it done yet, Terry, but I know you're going to be working on it next week or something. So yeah, I don't know if we had talked about maybe doing some cards, but Terry's come up with a few other ideas. So we'll kind of go from there, what she's come up with. And she'll put it together for us. And we could, whoever wants to can come and pick it up at her shop. And I think we can probably talk more about that when we've decided what it's all going to be. And then we can put out a email on that too. So yeah, I've kind of also thought, I don't know and how you guys all feel about it, but maybe have a, since Christmas will be coming up, either one of your favorite family get-togethers or what you do for Christmas, maybe your favorite cookie or dessert. We could share some recipes, just a couple of things just to, have a lighthearted December meeting maybe and get together that way. So I think once we've kind of made the decision, we can get that in the email for you and let you know what your thoughts are. If it's something that you're interested in or something that you'd rather not do, you could just let us know too. So.
But Linda, along that line, you were thinking about sending something over to the nursing home, and because that has been our focus in the past in December. I'm
just thinking some things that they like to get, like for the ladies and things, the nice lotions. That's one thing in a nursing home, they don't always get the nicest lotions, I'm thinking in terms of probably buying something, because we're talking about, quite a number to make anything by that time, or something that could be just wrapped in a pretty little, package in some way, if you get together and do that. Candy is another option. We've done that in the past for like elderly, for like the aging month and stuff like that. A little difficulty because of diabetics, but they're usually pretty good about sorting out who can have it. So I'm just trying to think, some of the things that they like to get.
Well, are you thinking like a lotion type thing? Because we could tweak our project to be, maybe we make a cute little gift bag that gets strapped on them. Because even the dollar store has like, for $1 you can get fluffy socks or slipper socks or something like that. Throw that in with a lotion, and maybe that should be the focus. We can be flexible.
Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking, that I haven't thought a lot about it, but it just reminded me the other day that we usually recognize or at least do something with the nursing home every year.
How many people do you have? Oh, sorry, Carol. How many people are in there? There's like 48, right?
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Well, and there's men and women. It's not just
right.
So
I'm just wondering if they can Zoom like this. Can you do some type of Like, could you do a meeting where we brought up the people there and they could see faces and maybe a sing-along? I don't know. It would be crazy.
Sing along doesn't work very well. That I know.
No.
Because of the delay in the speaking doesn't work very well that way.
Okay, Carol, what did you want to say?
Carol, yeah.
This is really difficult. I want to say that I think you should contact like Lauren Fila, somebody that's there, and ask them what they need or what they would like help with.
Yeah.
To do something, because she works with the people there.
And they don't want stuff coming in at this time.
Right.
That's the thing right now.
You know, right now, it is a different year in that regard, but I don't know how much they want. But you're right, we should contact Lauren first and see what we could even think about doing. So, Linda, would you mind getting in contact with the nursing home and see what their thoughts are on that?
Sure. Yeah, I can do
Could you
that.
do that for us? I'd appreciate it, and just let us know whether let me know, and I can put it out in an email.
Mhm. Oh, and they have the Love Light coming up soon too, and maybe there's been something we can do around that, you know, even a donation or I don't know, something. Like I said, I just today kind of struck me that we should be talking about it since December's next month.
Right.
So I haven't done a lot of thinking, but I will talk to Lauren and see if she's got any ideas. Because it is hard right now. And that's why I don't think we could probably, you know, make anything like candies and stuff, but we could probably buy something that they could distribute or something like that. Just a thought, and maybe this is the year.
No, we appreciate that, because that is always our focus in December. Go ahead, Julie.
And then there's also the donations that, you know, every year that we can, as individuals, give to the healthcare center. I mean, there's the one, I think the money goes for both Pigeon and Whitehall for gifts for the residents. And,
right,
you know, we've always done.
Yeah, in
that.
the disbursement, we always give to that too, right?
That
Sure.
I'm not sure.
probably, I'm not sure. I just know that we usually get information on that to, you know, donate as individuals. And then we all got our Love Light project too. I suppose WELCA could make a donation for the Love Light. But that wouldn't be for individual residents, of course.
Julie?
Yep.
For the individual, are you talking about gifts or monetary donations?
You can do either. I usually just write a check and I take it over to the office. Well, I did before.
Yeah.
And then they go and buy gifts. They take donations. There's a whole list, you know, like you can buy stamps and lotions and socks, all this.
Yeah.
But I usually give money because then they go out and buy what they haven't gotten, you know, if they haven't gotten gifts they need, then they go and get what they need.
Sure. Well, I can tell you that last year we donated $100 for the TCHCC Christmas gifts and $100 for Pigeon Falls Healthcare Center Christmas gifts. So that goes as part of our December disbursement.
Okay.
Now we could increase that. You know, like I said, we're going to talk about that in December a little bit more. We could increase it if we.
There's a deadline for when they want those gifts, but I don't have that right here.
I don't either. I'm trying to think. But you know, our meeting is going to be December. Our next meeting will be
December 6th.
December 6th.
Yeah.
I would think that would be.
Yeah, that'd probably be fine.
Yeah, and if Sandy gets that out right away, to them at least for Christmas, we should be fine, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
So, and you know, I'm just looking at the list, and again, we'll talk about this more next month, but the handicap maintenance fund, we gave $1,000 last year. I'll have to check with Christina. I don't think we use $1,000 worth of services that, so that maybe could be looked at a little bit more.
I can check on that.
Oh, yeah.
I can just get into the account if you want me to.
Oh, yeah, right.
It probably includes elevator
Yeah.
inspections every year, and they're expensive.
That's what it's for. Yeah, but I didn't think it was quite that expensive, but maybe it is.
Well,
I don't know.
if there's anything ever to fix, then it
Yeah.
would, it would go towards that.
Right. But so anyway, there are other ways to move our money around if we wish to, and we could increase our Christmas gifts rather than, since we aren't going to be able to go over there and share with the residents like we have in the past. So anything else about the healthcare center? So be thinking about what we can do that way. And as I mentioned, Dawn is going to have a fun activity for us next month. The meeting is December 6th at 6 p.m. again. We'll do a Zoom meeting, but be watching for an email that will give you directions as to whether you pick up a kit at Terry's or at the church or how they organize it. So we'll look forward to that. Anything else with new business? Okay, I can give you a heads up on the Christmas Eve worship is at 9 p.m. and it'll be live streamed. As of now, there won't be any more people allowed than what we have on Sundays, so it'll be 15. So you would have to sign up, and there is not going to be any Christmas Day worship this year. So
Mary Ann has a couple of ideas.
Yeah.
For doing something, a couple of other ideas to offer something besides just the 9 o'clock live stream. And I don't know how many people will be able to be there. I'm trying to get some type of group together, and it will be mostly my family, because as far as those who can be together and sing, so that there will not be a lot of places left to be in church.
Oh yeah, because the limit will still probably be 15. So
yeah,
we're gonna have to most of us be online then.
We'll miss the choir.
Well, I'm trying to put as many people as I can to get some SATB, as many family members as I can.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you, Jackie.
Yeah, sure.
Connie, are you singing in that little group?
You don't want me to sing in that group. I'm banned from family singing.
Oh no.
Oh
dear. So, okay, anything else for tonight's meeting? Well, this has been wonderful. I appreciate you all taking the time to come and join us. And I guess we'll close in our usual manner. If you would join me in praying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is
in heaven.
Give us this day
our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us.
And lead us not
into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
All right, very good. Good to see you all. Stay well. Yep. So we'll see you in December, if not before. So take care.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you.
Finally. Come on. There we go.
You guys.
Bye.
Yeah.